You ever notice how nobody gives a shit about North Dakota? So I've done it. Crossing the highway. Decided to go for a walk to lunch / dinner. Mostly dinner. Saw a Texas Roadhouse about a mile up the road from the truck stop. I'm in Grand Forks, North Dakota, which is the last state for me in the lower 48. Wow, unless you count that they just made fucking DC a state. It's the last state that I had yet to drive a truck in. And not only that, I'm picking up a load here. I might even take a shit. You know, I have shit in a lot of states too. I don't know if I'm gonna add North Dakota to that. I should start writing those down because I think that's an important statistic. How many states have you taken a shit in? You know, it's all about the statistics that really matter. But so far it's flat and a whole lot of nothing and very windy. Sorry for any wind noise. But as you can see, it's pretty much just a carbon copy of every other city, just smaller. You've got Best Buy, you've got all of the fucking same fucking corporate fucking places that you do everywhere. So, at the end of the day, if all you're doing is traveling city to city, you can pretty much count on the same things being everywhere. Now that being said, I did notice there's a couple parks. There's like a Japanese garden park, which I might check out. It's awful fucking sunny and fucking hot. I've only got a couple hours before my appointment. So, there's that. Was it as graceful as Vegetable Police? I just wanted to make this quick video to kind of show it. Not only for you guys, but for myself. So, the only states left for me to drive in, one of them I can't get to with the truck. That would be Hawaii and Alaska. I don't know that there's too much freight going to Alaska. Plus you got to go through Canada. So there's that. But I have been to Canada plenty. Just not the west coast of Canada. I'll have to add that to my list of shit to do. But it feels good though, exploring a new place that I've never been. Even if it's filled with the same old bullshit. Every city has some of its own nuances, and what I'm noticing here is it's well groomed, it's well taken care of, and there's parks, and I don't know. It's a military town. I do know that. I do believe there's a B-52 base here, unless that's changed from years ago. It's not the plane I worked on, so I didn't have to come here. But I'm willing to bet that that's a big part of the local economy. That and agriculture. And of course, the service industry, as we're seeing. So, yeah, I'm gonna go get me a fucking piece of prime rib in North Dakota. Just seems right. I wonder if they just went out and grabbed a cow and brought him over to the fucking restaurant today and took care of it. Or it's in one of those COVID meat processing plants. Either way, it's good eating. I see the mall is doing well. Still got to go in. Like I said, you get a really good feel for a place and the fear level just by, is the mall open and how are people acting in it? But then again, malls are dying, and I've always had a fascination with dead malls, so this is like the best time to go to the mall for me. It's like Fairfax times 10. Pretty soon these dead malls will be littering the landscape wherever you go. And shit. Pretzel maker. Haven't seen one of them in a while. Interesting thing to note. The food court, although it only had one restaurant, was not socially distanced. That was full capacity fucking tables and shit. But they probably figured, we're dying anyway. Fuck it. But now commerce isn't dead here, just the mall is dead. There's still plenty of outlets and stores that people just drive their cars to, apparently. You know, all the usual places. And of course you got Walmart and Target at the top of the fucking list. And I've been to what, 8 malls now? Since I've been out on the road? And they all qualify as dead or dying. You know, some intentionally because of the other businesses that opened around them, but it's become an Amazon and Walmart world, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the death of an era. Because, you know, I'm a child of the 80s and early 90s. When malls were the big thing. That's what you went out and did when you were too young to drink. Unless you did meth. Then you just did meth. But now the kids stay home, they play video games, or they run the streets and commit crime. Whereas when I was a kid, I used to ride my bike 10 fucking miles to the mall. I gotta cross this without getting fucked up. So everybody watches me awkwardly. You know, I don't see kids outside doing kid shit nowadays. Especially teenagers. All I want to do is sit home, play Xbox. Can you blame them at this point? Where else do they got to go? And now with COVID, everyone wants to stay home and play Xbox. It's a thing. So, I'm going to check out Best Buy, then I'm going to walk back to the truck stop and finish my work day. It was, they didn't have prime rib. I had to eat a ribeye. But it was good. Enjoyed it. So far, I like this town. It's a pretty good town. I like the layout. Layout's good. And shit. It's definitely good to get out of the truck too. Like, I've been kind of cooped up the past couple days. So, needed to do a little explore. But yeah, I still like dead malls though more than regular malls. So it's still good for urbexers like myself, because that's one of the urbex staples, is dying in dead malls. Trying to figure out like what happened in the malls, what stores were there, that kind of stuff, why they went out of business. I don't know, it's interesting to me. I used to watch that Dan Bell. He doesn't make as many videos. He kind of changed what he was doing to more of a documentary style thing. But I used to watch his Dead Mall series. I wish he'd go back and do it. There's just gonna be a ton of new dead malls to fucking explore. He could do YouTube for another 4 years just on dead malls. Nobody did dead mall explorers like him though. You know, I just kind of walked through with my camera and was like, hey, yeah, it's dead. And when I say dead, it's only like half dead. There might be life in it still. But most of the rest of the shopping is going on in all the outlet drive-up stores and shit. So, I think I can cross. Didn't I? Gotta wait for the rest of the traffic though. People are like, what the hell is he doing? Are you not turning, I guess? It's alright. Didn't I? I will say the little crosswalk fucking signals don't work for shit here. It's like they're there for show. Unless you want to stand there for an hour and a half. That's the other thing I noticed about here, is their traffic lights are a little excessive in the length of time you have to fucking wait. It's pretty cool. But other than that, I recommend it. I don't know if you'd vacation here, but if you just want a little town that's a nice getaway that has everything you need, seems like a nice place, except probably in the winter. You don't want to be in South Dakota in the winter. You probably damn sure don't want to be in North Dakota. Might as well be in Canada at that point. Sorry, Canadians. There's nothing I like more after a 2-mile hike wearing black cotton jeans and a black athletic t-shirt. Sorry. It's like I'm goth or something. There's nothing I like more than after walking in the 90-degree heat wearing some sweaty ass shit to where my balls are stuck to my legs, than to refuel with a nice hot coffee. Caffeine addiction is real, motherfuckers. So I'm at a customer. There's 10 trucks waiting for 4 doors, and I've seen 2 trucks move. So I'm about out of hours, so I'm actually stuck in Grand Forks, North Dakota. which I'm not complaining. Like, I'm good. I'm gonna get some editing done. I'm gonna, you know, and I already ate at Texas Roadhouse, so had the ribeye and a salad. Actually, they asked for 2 sides, and I just said, just give me double salad. But I only ate one of the salads. So, yeah. It's road life and shit. And, yeah, I know I said I'm trying to fast from current events. I didn't take into account that I just can't, you can't look at Facebook if you do that. And I do try and stay in touch with a lot of friends and acquaintances that way while I'm out here. So I got a little triggered by some of the Cuomo shit and ended up having to school some people on what the media is doing right now. Because I don't know if you noticed, but the media shifted from protests back to COVID. And they're pointing the finger at all the red states going, look, they're exploding infection rates. Yet, I'm going to link down below to this video the per capita death rate of COVID-19. And look at the states that are at the top. That's deaths per 100,000 people. Look at the states who are at the top of the list. Lockdown states. With some of the Cuomo at the top of the list. With the strictest fucking lockdown that's still going. You know, half-ass opening shit, not allowing other things to open at all during phase 4, and making everyone wear a mask, and everybody actually wearing a mask in New York. Like, there's very few people who are standing up to this motherfucker. There's virtually no businesses are standing up to him. They're all cowering in fear of the wrath of Cuomo. Well, take your liquor license. I'll take this license. I will fucking shut you down. I will prosecute you. I will. And now he's added a few more fuck yous to the list with the mandatory quarantine, which will be enforced by them randomly pulling over people in fucking out-of-state plates, pulling people over to see if they quarantine going into the state. Where'd the Constitution go? The Constitution's fucking gone. He does not have the authority to do this. The emergency ended months ago. We have better treatments now. We're not venting everybody left and right, hopefully. I hope they're done with that. That is reflected in the decrease in intubations that we see. We shouldn't have been fucking intubating anybody with a fucking 80% mortality rate on people that get put on a fucking ventilator. You know, and anybody who's done any modicum of research on that knows that's the truth, including Cuomo himself has said in his daily fuck you briefings that 80% of people that go on a ventilator will not come off of it. They will die if they come off of the ventilator. Now, there's been advances with steroid treatments to help improve the mortality rate of ventilators, but there's evidence out there that they were venting people whose blood oxygen was in like the 80s. 80s could happen in a fucking mountain pass and you won't die. I'll take my chances. And plus, there's other methods to increase the oxygen level other than fucking jacking them full of fentanyl and then fucking venting their ass. Stop it. And the other thing about masks, he likes to say facts, not feelings. Masks, masks, facts, not feelings. How about this fact? In nursing homes, they've been wearing masks since fucking the little outbreak in Washington. You mandated that shit. How in the hell did everybody get infected in the nursing homes? 25% of the deaths in New York came from nursing homes. If fucking masks work, then how the hell did that happen? Are you mean to tell me that all of our shitty fucking nursing homes were not following the rules? Because that's the only explanation you could get. Or the other explanation is that masks don't fucking work. I don't even think the N95 mask works at preventing the spread of the virus. You wouldn't, if that was the case, no healthcare workers would have got it. Nobody would have got it. Because New York is the most compliant fucking state I've seen with my own eyes, not through fucking CNN, not through fucking Fox News, none of them fuckers. I walk into these places myself and see how people are acting. And New York is the most compliant, obedient state in the entire fucking country. Now, there are people who are angry, but they're still obeying because they're afraid of the consequences. And, you know, I hate to go off on a little rant at the end of this video, you know, because everything else was going fine. But I'm just so sick of people, like, virtue signaling and how great Cuomo... I see it on Facebook. People are like, oh, I think Cuomo's doing a good job. Yeah, well, fuck, no. No. You know, I've lost subscribers because they wanted to suck off Cuomo's balls. I'm sorry. Cuomo is a piece of shit. He is the worst governor in the entire United States. And if you think differently, then you need to open your fucking eyes to the corruption, to the money, to what's really happening. He saved the big corporations and crushed the mom and pops. He killed grandma by forcing COVID patients back into nursing homes and then saying, well, we were just following the guidelines. Yet he was one of the few governors actually doing that, and it's reflected in New York's death rate per capita. Per 100,000 people, New York has the highest death rate. Do you think that's because he's doing a good job? Is he doing a good job? No, he's killing motherfuckers. I am so fucking tired of this governor. I'm so tired of him. And I'm definitely changing my residency. I'm getting the fuck out of New York. I'm tired of giving my tax money to an inept governor whose word is law and who, in my opinion, is doing all of this for political reasons at this point. And he doesn't want to relinquish the power he was granted way back fucking in April with this whole fucking, you know, or March if you go way back, with this whole emergency that was declared. I think we need to fucking take a step back and realize that we're not where we were at the beginning of this, that there are going to be a high rate of infections as we open up. The virus isn't going anywhere. It's still there. We are able to handle it right now. And in the places that can't handle it, we have the resources to funnel to those places to handle it. All right? If you have a hospital that's strained in one area, get some personnel from the hospitals that aren't. We should already have that shit up and running by now. We've had how many months of lockdown to fucking sort that out? So, you know, and people are just pointing at all of the states that have the rising infection rate and ignoring the fact that their per capita death rate is still surprisingly low for the amount of the new infections. We'll see how it plays out, obviously. If I'm wrong, I'll let you know. But so far, the worst states, by far, per capita death rate, were the lockdown states, not the open states. And some states have been open for quite a while. And let's not forget that little thing that fucking happened, oh, you know, the whole protest thing that had tens of thousands of motherfuckers gathering, yet somehow it's the bar's fault. We're doomed, people. We're doomed. And this is why I need to take a fucking break from mainstream media. You know, and maybe social media. Maybe I'll just look at Facebook once a week just to keep in touch with people and maybe post some funny memes. But I kind of went off on it today. It didn't ruin my day. Like, I'm just literally bored waiting, and I saw this and it triggered me. You know, but we need to get our heads out of our asses and stop letting the media fucking make us afraid and divide us the way it is. It's so horrible what the media is doing. Why are we putting up with the media? Why are we fucking falling in line as our freedom and our country is being destroyed? Literally destroyed. You know? Not everywhere, though. Like, it's fine here in North Dakota. It's as pretty much business as usual. There was very few signs of shutdowns or the virus or anything here. Now, a lot of ignorant motherfuckers would be like, well, it's because nobody lives in North Dakota. It's like that in some of the most densely populated fucking areas I've been to out here that are open. that have been open. What matters isn't the infection rate. We're all going to get infected. Unless you stay in your house and don't leave, you are going to get exposed to the virus, one way or another. It's whether or not your immune system can handle it, whether you have comorbidities, and if you do, if you're vulnerable, protect yourself. Stay away from motherfuckers. Isolate until herd immunity is achieved. You should be encouraging people to go out that are healthy and get the virus. You should be like, hey, go on out. Yep, get that herd immunity out of the way so I can go out again. You know, but no, we're waiting until the vaccine, until this happens. And of course, the vaccine will work as the virus mutates, just like the flu. And you know, at what point do we say enough is enough with the fucking fear and mongering and control? Are we going to pilot this ship right into the ground so that we all just stay in our houses and fucking shop at Walmart and Amazon? Is that what we want? We want to destroy the rest of everything else. We want the whole country to be your house, Netflix, fucking Amazon, and Walmart. That's apparently what we want now. That's what our country is becoming. Well, fuck that. Not me. That's why I'm out here doing what I'm doing. And I'm going to keep fucking doing it. And fuck anybody who doesn't like what I'm doing. You know, it really is to that level now. I'm tired of it. I really am so tired of the virtue signaling, divisive bullshit that is going on out there. Sorry for the rant. I really am. And if I pissed you off during this, I kind of don't care at this point. This is my opinion. You don't like my opinion, don't watch my shit. But, you know, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the media winning. I'm tired of the fucking mainstream media winning. And make no mistake, the media is driving all of this. They drove the unrest. They're driving the fear of the pandemic. They're destroying the economy, and they're doing it for their own personal gain. Look who's getting rich during this, and look who's going to get poor because of this. And ask yourself, what side am I on? Am I going to be on the media's side, who's going to be fine after this because we keep clicking them and watching them from while huddled inside of our house in fear? Because even places that are open, people are still not necessarily going out because of the fear. And they're cranking it up a notch right now. Mark my words. You know, a lot of people are going to think I'm some fucking tinfoil hat motherfucker for saying this. And I'm really testing the YouTube shit for this. But, you know, mark my words, you know, just looking at what's going on with the death rate has answered the question for me on masks. It's answered the question on lockdowns. It's answered the question on did we do the right thing. To be fair, it's a new virus. We don't know what the fuck we were doing when we started, but we've had enough time to figure that shit out. And it's time to get out there, stop being afraid. If you're not vulnerable, if you're healthy and you're good, stay away from your vulnerable people. Let them know the risk anytime you encounter them. Look, hey, do you want me to do this? I ask people, I'm like, do you want me to wear a mask? I'll wear a fucking mask if it makes you happy. You know, as a personal courtesy, if you request it. I'm not going to walk around in the general public with it. I'm not going to walk around outside with it. And I'm not going to fucking deal with it. You know, and I don't care how many fucking laws they make. I'll be a disobedient, civil disobedient motherfucker. You know, I'm tired of it. I am tired of the treading of the Constitution. Not to mention, if one of them, they do come at me with a law, I will totally spend every fucking dime I have to take that shit to court on the constitutionality of it. Somebody needs to fight this shit. We can't just sit on our ass and not fucking do anything about it. You know? I will not be beat down by the fucking media and by Cuomo. It's not me. Sorry. Sorry if I hurt your feelings with that, but, you know. And this is only directed at the people who I know, one or two of you are going to be butthurt that I went off on this tangent at the end. And, you know, what can I say? It's my opinion. I'm allowed to have that still. It's not hurting anybody for me having my opinion. And I still, everyone I've come in contact with personally that I've seen, A, knows the risk of hanging out with me, and B, have none of whom have got the virus, or at least not shown any symptoms if they did, which, you know what? It's fine. That means they're immune to it eventually. See how that works? The longer you isolate yourself and wear the mask and sanitize your life, the weaker your immune system's going to get. And then what happens when the next virus comes along? Well, they're going to lock you down again and tell you what to do. Nowhere in the Constitution does there say except when there's a pandemic, all right? But we're trying to rewrite that and knock down our statues and do all of that shit right now. So, yeah. Well, we'll see how that turns out. All right. Sorry. I literally was just triggered on Facebook right before I turned the camera on. I apologize to anybody whose feelings were wounded by my truck driver opinion and from a field in North Dakota. But if you like to have, please like and subscribe. And I'll make more shit. Subscribe to my email list. I'll send out emails when I have an idea of when I'm going to have a break somewhere. You don't have to check today because my break is going to be here in North Dakota apparently. And I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just an asshole. But I'm an asshole that's out here. I'm an asshole that's seeing what different states and all the inconsistencies and all the hypocrisy in every state. There's a stupid rule that doesn't make sense, and sometimes multiple stupid rules that don't make sense. And Cuomo is the fucking reigning champion of stupid, hypocritical fucking bullshit rules that don't make sense. Fuck Cuomo and have a nice motherfucking day. And shit.